It's madness.
It's March, baby. This is March. You made any bets yet?
Yeah, I took Gonzaga minus 22.5. And then they ended up pulling away and winning by 21. So fuck them.
That's funny. You didn't do did you do the promo for DraftKings?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous on that line.
That would have been too funny.
Oh my god, they would have just destroyed people.
I'll say they would have raked big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't usually make that big of bets, so I was nervous.
That's why when I made the $50 bet on the Reds when we went to that game, and then I got drunk, and that's why I just was going wild when they blew that game open. Yeah, we're like $10 bettors.
Yeah, we're not high rollers. So, all right. So I got the retweet out. It's been, and you're ready to get going. I'm ready to get going. I think we can just fire away.
Let's fucking go.
It's been crazy. A lot of NFL news. If you like the NFL and live on the NFL news like we do, this is like, especially tonight, it's almost been like too hard to even like keep track of.
Right. I'll jump in real quick. I mean, normally this time of year, there's a part of me that's like, okay, we get it, like NFL stuff, but like there's way more stuff, there's real sports being played. Like you turn on ESPN and they're talking for an entire episode of NFL Live about some stupid bullshit that doesn't matter. But like, this offseason, goddamn.
Like, is like Baker Mayfield soft and stuff like that. They were talking about that on like First Take the other day, like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, is he's like not a leader because of that stupid message? It's like, you guys are so lame. But yeah, so there's been a lot. Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. We talked about that. We thought that was going to happen. 3 years, $150 million guaranteed is unbelievable.
Yes.
Unreal. He's like 37, 38. But big breaking news, like an hour ago, Green Bay just traded Davonte Adams to the Raiders. First and second round pick coming back to the Packers. Allegedly players, I've heard Brian Edwards. I don't know if that's true. I know about the first and second. That's what Shefty said.
Wait, you mean Calvin Johnson?
Yeah, Megatron 2.0. That little fun. What a joke. Everyone loved his slurping his dick so hard. Anywho, big trade. I think this means a lot for Rodgers. Like fantasy wise, I think Green Bay, like offense wise, I think this is a massive loss because they only have one wide receiver.
I'm very confused because when he re-signed Rodgers, that is, I just assumed like he knew that he'd have Adams. You know what I mean?
I think like, that was anticipation.
Do you think if this trade happens and what does Rodgers do? He's like, yo, get me the fuck out, right?
I mean, good job they re-signed Devondre Campbell, whatever, an off-ball linebacker, and then they let this guy walk out the door. I mean, in a vacuum, I think it's a good trade for an aging wide receiver. Not when you're winning now. Now when you're paying him $50 million.
Unreal. So, the Packers front office in the last like couple of years has just been. It's legit been like Jaguars bad, but they've had Rodgers.
They have Rodgers. Yeah, it must be nice. Hopefully, we have those problems later on.
Damn.
But so that's wild. Can't believe that's happening. So I mean, Derek Carr stock to the moon, in my opinion. Russ to Denver, big trade. I don't really want to talk too much about Rodgers and Russ because I feel like if you're paying attention, you know about that. Like you've heard a billion things. Moving on, Wentz to Washington. I thought I'd give you a chance to just laugh.
All right, if you watch this pod and you know us. First of all, you rock.
Yeah, we love you.
Second of all, you know how much I just publicly and how much I love to shit on Carson Wentz.
It's your favorite.
And not only, I mean, I'm baffled, man. Like I crapped on the trade the Colts made, which still sucks. Like they're don't have a first round pick this year because they traded for a quarterback who couldn't even get a good roster to the playoffs. Different podcast for that one, buddy.
Yeah.
But the Washington the fucking commies, first of all, they didn't think about that. No, they did not think that through.
I just love that. Oh my God, I'm going to calm. Just all the memes like that.
The Commanders trade, what was it, 2 third-rounders for this guy?
I think what it ends up being is 1/3 swapping like 5-6 picks in the second round, and then conditional third if you play 70% of the snaps.
Okay, you know what they could have done? They could have signed Teddy Bridgewater for like Jameis, whatever, couple million, whatever it was, and they could have had Carson Wentz minus the interception.
I'm with you, man. I'm happy for it because I have Wentz in a super flex, and so he does put up decent stats. But yeah, he's
right. As long as he's starting and in a super flex, cool.
Right, but he ain't a winner. But yeah, I just thought we'd stick. I don't think it's going to work out well for him. I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway,
dude, he's done.
Yeah, let's move on. The reason why I'm wearing this jersey, Watson. Trade rumors are getting pretty legit.
They're cooking.
Eagle Eye Scout watching this one because I have him in both my Superflex leagues and I need him. But it looks like New Orleans or Atlanta are the leaders in the clubhouse, which maybe Atlanta's taking the lead. I got to be honest, I don't know why Cleveland and Carolina aren't the front runners, but whatever. Watson has no trade, so it's all up to him.
Right.
But I'm hoping Pitt stays in Atlanta, and if Watson goes there, holy shit, watch out. Like, back up. That's all I'm going to say.
What, to Atlanta?
Back up, like, Pitt's to the moon.
Oh, like, unless they trade Pitts to Houston.
I know. I'm terrified about that.
Man, if you're Atlanta, like, I get it. It's worth it. But, like, damn, that sucks.
And they have no wide receivers.
No.
Like,
well, do you think they ride out the Ridley thing? It's only 1 year.
I don't think Ridley wants to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, do you think he wants to play with Watson, though?
Good call. I'll give you that one.
He was playing with old-ass, crusty Matt Ryan.
All right, I can't wait for Matt Ryan to be on the fucking Colts, and then they suck with him. He can't even get a handoff to JT, right?
Manifest that, please.
Too funny, man.
Whatever we got to do to make that one happen.
Right. Seems like the deal has to include 3 first-round picks, or they're out. Atlanta definitely has a better first-round pick than New Orleans, so I could think that could be an edge, but it's all up to Watson. He is.
I'll say, I mean, it's between Atlanta and New Orleans. Like, yeah, I guess if you're Watson, you get to make that call, whatever, blah, blah, blah. As far as like what team you're going to and picking, if you're Watson, I would take a lesser roster to get into the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the whole Browns rumors, like I would, if I were him, I would not accept a trade to the AFC.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Houston didn't really want to put him in the AFC too, so I guess that part makes sense. It's just
because they're gonna run into him in the playoffs every year.
But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see. It's definitely gonna break fantasy Twitter and NFL Twitter when it happens.
Right,
so
Twitter is gonna be really fun when it happens. That's for sure.
It's gonna be a blast. So moving on, last one, Kiwi news is Baker. We mentioned it. He
hilarious
sent like a goodbye letter to Cleveland, just kind of thanking the fans when it was sounding like Cleveland was really shopping him for Watson. Then Cleveland was told they're out of the running. And so then he's like, well, I still want to be traded because you guys clearly don't like me here. I want to be out. And then they're like, no. We're not going to recognize your request.
I'm so here for this drama.
Because you will not be quiet about it.
No. Here's my thought on all that, though. Cleveland straight up told Baker, look, if like Watson or Russ is available, we're going to look into it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's just what's up. And then then they got serious into Watson for half a second, and Baker was like, "Oh God, oh see you, Cleveland, I love you." And I don't know. I just think Baker, I'm out on him, and this
I
doesn't
don't
help
think
at
it.
all.
Yeah, I don't think it was smart to do everything publicly like that.
And like you look over at Jimmy G, who got his replacement legit drafted right in front of his face. He beat him out for the job. And then, not only that, took his team to the NFC title and never even had a damn chirp about the fact that he wasn't even going to probably be there next year.
Took him to the final is a very nice way to say that.
Well, yeah,
just being a dick.
I know you are. You're right. But
I get your point
stands.
100%. Right. He did it, super professionally. He was like, "Oh, really? You want to replace me? I got this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that makes him much more, I think, sought after for other teams than what Baker.
Right. Like if I were Cleveland and I had the chance at Jimmy G over Baker, I would pull that trigger.
I feel like that's like a lateral move. But I agree.
No, but like attitude, I think like attitude and team wise, like alone,
leadership.
Like, yeah.
It makes a difference, 100%. Like it's going to be a weird locker room. Like the Bears talked about it after like turning 18. The locker room was never the same because of like it was so clear that like Mitch just wasn't it, and like Nagy was pissed about being stuck with him, and like it just everything. They felt like they blew their shot and everything. So like I agree 100%. Moving on to free agency, there's been a lot of moves. I figured we would just talk about the offensive guys because you're a fantasy show. So Kirk to Christian Kirk to the Jags, 4 years, $72 million. People definitely got fired up about that one.
Okay. The initial response was fair because all you saw was 4 years, $84 million or whatever the hell it was. But when you see the contract broken down to what it actually is, $37 million guaranteed, all done in the first 2 years.
Right. So it's it's 2 years, $37 million.
Right. So if he ain't cutting it, you cut him. And if he is, you got him for 2 more years at like 15 a year. And if you keep him, that means he's been balling and he's worth the money. So like,
right. It was, everyone always freaks out, but those numbers, it doesn't make a difference. And plus you've seen how the cap can be manipulated. So
right, exactly. So like to me, it's totally the reaction was warranted off of the initial report of the contract. Well, not really, because with today's NFL, you always need to wait to see the real numbers.
It's fun to react. Too. And everyone loves making fun of the Jags.
So also that, yeah.
So I think it's going to be fine. I think he could be good. I think it's kind of up in the air. I think he's very much a wild card.
I think he fits well with Trevor because the way Trevor's play fits, and then what they did at Clemson and stuff is a lot of that like intermediate short yak stuff, and Kirk is great for that. And I think it screams that they're going to go draft a number 1 guy, and probably at 33.
I think so too. Yeah. So we'll see how things play out. Allen Robinson to the Rams shocked me. I didn't see that one coming. 3 years, $46 million.
I would have never guessed Rams, but that's going to be fucking good.
Yeah, because Woods isn't going to be ready to start the season because it was November when he blew out his knee. So that makes sense. And then apparently they want to bring back Odell. I don't see how that works out at all. 1, money-wise. 2, like you're going to pay 4 wide receivers. Like, because Kupp and Woods were extended. So all 3 of those guys all 3 of them are making over $15 million. And then you're going to get Odell, who probably wants at least like close to 10, right? Like that just doesn't make sense.
His market, he's going to be gone. His value is like a total question mark to me.
Right, totally unknown. Rest of these aren't nearly as big, so we'll kind of fly through. Russell Gage to Tampa, 3 years, $30 million. Good for him.
That's going to be good. I'm going to be honest.
You like? Interesting.
Dude, Russell Gage was one of those dudes who like randomly would pop with, once again, old crusty ass Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I don't like
I'm
boom
not
bust players.
saying that's a like go put all your chips into Russell Gage, but like keep an eye on that.
Okay. Definitely if you have Godwin, I would grab him in case Godwin gets hurt again or isn't ready to
big
go.
time
That
there.
would make sense. Cedric Wilson, Miami. I think he's a good player. 3 years, 22.5. I would have loved the Bears to make that deal. Trubisky to Pittsburgh. Super flex. You know, if you want to throw a flyer,
dude, they're gonna draft.
I know if you're win now,
right?
If you're win now though, maybe you get him for cheap.
No. I'm on board with that. I'm just saying
one QB, ignore it.
Also agreed, but I mean, real football, they're gonna draft a quarterback, right?
Right. And I know you're probably sorry to go back. I just thought of it, but I was happy that Miami signed a wide receiver like Cedric Wilson because I think it's going to help out Waddle because he's just he's a vertical threat and he's not going to be a volume target like Waddle was. So, moving on, Chase Edmonds and Mostert to Miami. Edmonds 2 years, $12 million. Mostert 1 year, $2 million. I still think they go running back in the drafts at some point, and it's going to be running back by committee, and it's not going to be any fun to try to own that.
I agree.
Backfield.
I think it's going to be. Ooh, excuse me.
You're excited about the backfield, I can tell.
Right. If they didn't, if they didn't sign Mostert, I'd be really big fan of Edmonds for fantasy.
Well, do you trust that Mostert can stay healthy? He's 29.
No.
Hurt. So
I really like Edmonds the player. So like. I do because I think he can catch and he can provide nice production in the passing game. So I'm a fan of Edwards. So like if you could get a cheap snag on Edwards, and like the Dolphins offense has shown like they're willing to ride fucking Myles Gaskin into the ground.
Yeah, but it's a brand new. It's McDaniel from.
Oh, I forgot, and there's no co-offensive coordinators anymore.
Right. Cheap. I mean, running back by committee city. I never trust. You can never trust a Shane running back.
No, I'm totally with you, and I think you're right in that they do draft a guy too, and it is going to be just like a whoever, and
yeah, probably be good for like 3 random weeks during the year.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be part of that.
Holy shit.
So best ball draft Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, I could see that. Looks like Watson's going to take a couple days to make his decision.
That's fair.
I have so much anxiety over it, though. I can't wait. The next guy was a pretty big move. He stayed, but wanted to include it. It was James Conner because he got 3 years, $21 million. That's pretty good money for a running back.
Yeah.
And then he was elite for a long stretch of the year.
While he was healthy, yeah.
So, I mean, definitely someone to keep an eye on for sure, especially in the draft. I would draft him in redraft.
Right. If you want a sleeper or like a guy to go really by, though, is Eno Benjamin.
I like Eno.
If you can get him for like a 4th rounder or something, whew, I would snag that in a heartbeat.
I agree. Chark goes to Detroit, 1 year, $10 million. As a Sun God stan, I love this move. All this stuff open up more space.
Yes, I agree.
And plus, like, dude, he's another one that like, is he gonna be healthy? Because I don't know. And
he's always had little nagging injuries.
So I'm good with. I'm not worried at all. Sun God owners, manager. I mean, and I may have made a soggy dollar bet that he is a top 20 wide receiver next year, maybe.
You got this.
I got this. All right, so that's all I had for the free agency moves. There's plenty more if you want to look it up. But I figured we would just stick to the fancy guys. Bets, not doing bets this week. We got NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that later. So we're betting all the time, but
yeah,
we're not going to talk about specifics right now. Because what we are going to do is we're going to talk about these rookie prospects because rookie drafts are coming up. The NFL draft's coming up. We're excited. And this time, we're not going to talk one guy. We're going to talk 2 and compare them kind of head to head. And we're going top of the food chain running backs, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm excited. So figure we'll start with Breece Hall. Good with you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So some background information. 5'11", 217, ran a 4.39 40. So that's really freaking fast for someone that big.
That's faster than I thought he would.
Me too. 40-inch vertical. That's very, very impressive. And then 10.6 broad jump. Very impressive again. Giving him the 9th overall relative athletic score, RAS, ever for a running back out of 1,500 running backs.
9th?
9th.
Damn.
So, I mean, obviously, there's plenty of dudes that are freak athletes that don't pan out, but that's, for a running back especially, that's impressive to me. Production was out the wazoo. Dude produced. Freshman year, 186 carries, 897 yards, 9 touchdowns. Also 23 catches, 353 yards, a touchdown. Sophomore year, even better, 279 carries, 1,572 yards, 21 touchdowns. Again, 23 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. Junior year, 253 carries, 1,472 yards, 20 touchdowns, 36 catches. So improved that to 302 yards and 3 touchdowns. So those last 2 years, both over 1,400 yards, both over 20 touchdowns. Just crazy production. And caught passes. 4-star recruit coming out of high school, running back 22 in his class, 339th nationally. So he definitely had some hype coming into, out of high school. And then, oh boy, he really produced. You got to give him that.
He did.
So I watched Texas, Baylor, West Virginia. What games? Those games
Same.
You watched too?
Yep.
Yeah. So some pluses. You can tell there is long speed there.
Yes.
He does get caught. I did notice that. But there is long speed. I thought he was a really good decision maker. I think that's his best trait is his vision. I think
I'll give you that.
He really makes good decisions because I'm not a very good offensive line scout. I'm not going to even pretend. Let's be real. But, I mean, you can kind of tell, oh, that dude lost his job. Oh, that's a good lane. Let's go. If you pause it and slow it down and stuff like that. And so I thought he often made the right choice. The choice, sometimes it wasn't a great play, but he did what he had to do. And then when there was a lane, he made it happen. So I was impressed there.
I like that he's got power. There was a couple times I saw where he'd hit a pile and, he would help a pile move. And it's always a plus.
Mm-hmm. He can catch for sure. He is good. He looks natural out there. I think it's kind of hard to tell exactly because it's not like he's running corner routes and mossing people, but he just looks like a natural. He looks confident when he catches the ball.
For a guy like Breece Hall, and then even for Walker too, for both of these guys, ever since Fournette came out, and then he didn't his rookie year, but the next year he caught 76 passes. I don't know. Ever since Fournette, I'm kind of off the train of trying to judge one of these bigger workhorse kind of backs and trying to judge their catching ability because, one, it's mostly coached, it's mostly schemed.
I agree.
It's very hard to figure out what kind of receiving running back they can be unless they're utilized as one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I did see him do it wasn't just the swing out and wait for a pass. I saw him run some Texas, the angle route. So I do think he can. I think that will be an asset in his game. I think he will.
But yes, he has definitely proven that he can do it.
Right. I think he's very good around the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, especially goal-to-goal situations, I thought he did a really good job of being productive there. I mean, again, some of that is opportunity. He got a lot of chances, but I thought he'd put it away. You know what I mean? So that's always a huge plus if someone can score a lot of touchdowns. That's always a very good thing. Contact balance, I thought that was pretty good. He ran through arm tackles. He
I
definitely
was
wasn't.
gonna say that's one of my biggest pluses for him is contact balance.
Yeah, he didn't, and it didn't really slow him down.
Yeah.
That's where you could see the size. When people
Mhm.
got his arms, he was like, "No, that ain't no thing. I'm good." And then I remember in the West Virginia game, he didn't score on this play, but he almost did. He carried a dude 25 yards. The guy was like kind of going for the ball, but he was like on his back, and he was just like,
yeah.
It was,
he just man beefed the shit out of that guy.
Hell yeah. So that was a lot of pluses. Do you have any other ones I didn't get to?
No, you pretty much did a good job covering that. Going for negatives, I would say my biggest one is that his athleticism doesn't pop on tape.
Yeah, he's not twitchy.
And when you told me he had the ninth best Ross score, that's why my reaction was like, "Whoa, did you just say ninth?"
Mm-hmm.
Because watching tape,
I agree.
I would have never thought that.
Right.
And
we'll
get there again, but yeah, once again, it's one of those things like if the numbers don't line up with the tape, don't trust the numbers. In my opinion,
I agree there. I think he's just a different kind of athlete, and we'll get to that when we get to my comp. Yeah. Like he's not, he's not like DeAndre Swift where like he's got the crazy like dead leg and like jump cuts. Like he's more like big, not shifty. You know what I mean? And so like, but yeah, he's definitely, especially when you watch him compared to Kenneth, he's just not twitchy. He doesn't have the juice.
Right.
But he does have the long speed, and then with that size, that factors in a lot to it. For him to jump 40 inches at 217,
I would say
that's really impressive.
Before we jump over to Kenneth, the one thing I love Kenneth Walker. Going into this, I have the 101. He's my 101. I don't even give.
Right, I was gonna let you do the pros on him.
I watched Brees first intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I honestly think Brees does better is he has a touch more power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And then he had more
opportunities. I think he is better
in the passing game.
He has better vision. He's a better decision maker. In my opinion, he's a much better decision maker. We'll get to it when we get to Kenneth. Hold on, I got one more.
That's fair.
I also have Bo. He can get cute.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to his athleticism, where sometimes he does try to do things that he doesn't have the lateral quickness to pull off. He's better off being a big dude and piling forward, which that can get coached out. But
right.
I do agree with you that like he doesn't like he has plenty of long runs and stuff like that, but he doesn't wow you in the same ways that Kenneth Walker does.
Brees Hall's numbers get skewed by big gains.
Oh, he had a lot of them though.
Right, but to me they aren't. His like huge rip-off touchdowns aren't as much of a result of his doing. You know what I mean?
I can see what you're saying.
He hits a hole and it's wide open to the end zone. I'll get there with Walker, but
yeah, so I do have a comp, or do you want to save the comps?
I've got a comp, kinda.
I think he's Matt Forte.
Interesting.
Big dudes, both like 6 foot.
I honestly don't think he's as good.
They're not like Forte was like 4.44 or something like that, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a pretty good, Roz score, but like again, he wasn't twitchy. I would get mad that I felt like that he just didn't have enough make you miss. And I kind of think Brees kind of has that too. But I also like they wore you down, good pass catchers, and like just like long striders kind of dudes.
You're ready for mine?
Mm-hmm.
JV Frank Gore. Because you watch his tape, and my guy, like, dude, Brees just grinds out runs. Like,
I can see that.
he
Grinder.
grinds out a game exactly the same way Frank Gore does. He's just not as
Okay.
good.
I
Like,
like that.
he makes you watch one of his cut-ups and it looks like one of Frank Gore's NFL cut-ups. And that's why I call him JV Frank Gore, is because if that's what you look like versus a college defense, and and Frank Gore looks like that versus a pro defense,
I can see where you're going.
I think the value of a Frank Gore back in the league is super, super, super valuable. But if that's what your tape looks like versus college guys, I don't think that's good.
Well, you're in the minority on Twitter. A lot of
Agreed.
people have him.
I'm agreed. No, I know.
I do think he has a higher floor than Kenneth Walker. But
Interesting.
I think if he goes to a team with a good O-line, watch the fuck out.
That's fair.
You want to switch
That
over?
is fair. Yeah.
All right. Why don't you do the pluses on Walker, since that's your guy?
Shout out to our guys over at Yards Per Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
We had our little Brees versus Walker thing planned, and they just posted their little profile about Walker. Number 1 in yards after contact, and number 6 in yards after contact per attempt in 2021 per PFF.
Missed tackle's got to be high.
Number 1 in missed tackles forced per PFF. And number 1 in runs of 15 plus yards. So what does that tell us? My guy can make you miss, and he can run.
He absolutely has make you miss.
And this is a classic example of athleticism popping on tape. I don't even know how many plays I watched. And this is why, you got to look at more than just 40s. You got to look at the 3-cone, the shuttle, the overall picture. Because, for Walker example, man, it was in the Michigan game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He takes one outside the tackle off the right side. I think he ends up beating 3 Michigan defenders to the sideline by just bouncing out. It's not even like he was taking the angle. He was bouncing outside and beating them.
So my biggest strength for him was he's got juice. He's got the juice. Watch him play. He's got juice.
100% got the juice. He's a dog. He's got dog. And
all right.
I love it.
So let me do some of the background stuff. I should have done that before we get to that. So he's a little bit smaller, 5'9", 211, but 211 is plenty size.
Yep.
4'3", 40, so that's blazing fast. But where I was surprised, I would have figured he had the 40-inch vertical. He only had 34-inch vertical,
right?
Which isn't that's not very good for a running back, especially a 5'9" running back. But he did have 10-2 broad, so that's good. You want to clear 10 feet. His ROS was 140 out of 1,500. So, again, that's still very good.
Yep.
His first 2 years at Wake Forest, for whatever reason, maybe they just didn't know what he had. But he had 98 and 119 carries, so significantly less than Brees. Way less production, 579 yards both times. But sophomore year, he did score 13 touchdowns. So that's pretty impressive with only 13 touchdowns on 119 carries.
Right.
But then junior year, transfers to Michigan State, kills it. 269 carries, 1,636 yards, 18 touchdowns, 13 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Was a 3-star high school recruit, so a little bit less. So that's going to drop him in these ranks. RB 143, 2,164. So clearly, they didn't know what they're looking at because he's going to go day 2 at worst in the NFL draft. So he was clearly not RB 143 in his class. But anyway, go back. You talking about your boy. You got any more positives?
To me, I don't know. He is eye test warrior to me, and that's biggest reason why I want him. I made an attempt this year going into the season, knowing in my main dynasty league I was more than likely going to have 101.
Mm-hmm.
I made an attempt to watch some running backs going into the year. I was like, yo, this dude from Iowa State is probably going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I sat down to watch Iowa State, he never popped and I never, got off the couch and was like, I need that guy.
Woo!
Like,
that's when I watch tape. If I go, whoo,
right.
That's how I know. Like, that's a wow moment to me. And Kenneth Walker, 100% wows more.
Now, I'm not saying it happened every time I watched Michigan or, in every game, but like handful of times I would sit down and I happened to be watching Michigan State. I'd be like, holy shit, this guy.
Because he hits home runs.
Right. And like, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't know. To me, I just don't think I don't think it's close.
Wow.
I might be wrong.
I'm very close with him and Brees. I think landing spot's going to make a huge difference to me.
I'm taking Walker 101 no matter what already. Like, because
that's fair. Go with your guy. That's what you got to do.
My conviction. But like, to me, I don't know. I just don't even think they're close. Yeah. I think Walker is far and above the better running back.
So I have some other pluses. He could do the cutback. Like, there's a lot of times where he's running play side and he's like, nope, I'm good.
And he's done it. Like, I watched a few plays where he did it more than once too.
So like, now I do wonder, is he good enough to do it in the pros? We'll find out. But he is definitely good enough to do it in the Big Ten, and so that's impressive. He wins in short area. Like, he's got that short area quickness. Yep. So like you said, but he's got the juice, he's got the twitches. He's got the
ability when he is lined up and he bounces one out and he's square shouldered with a linebacker, he can bounce it outside and burn him.
And he's really good at that plant your foot and go, like a rugby move. He's not really the jump cut. He's not the dead leg. He's just, he's really good at setting defenders up and going. Give him daylight, shit. Like that Rutgers game.
Yes.
That 194-yard run where I think he made like 6 players. They had him, and he's like, nope, I'm good. And he just kept going.
I got this.
He's definitely that running back where if like any play, watch out. You know what I mean? And so that's something that in the pros, like that makes a difference when your running back has that in their bag.
Right.
I do feel like his vision can last. I felt like there's times where he tried to cut back and he shouldn't. I felt like there's times where he had a move for him and he didn't take it. And so again, that can be coached up. It's easier when you get 250 carries, multiple years, that your vision's better than someone that didn't even get that in his first year. You know what I mean? So some of that could be experience. Like my boy Davonte, he broke out late in his college career too. So like sometimes it just takes them a minute if they're not getting the touches and the reps and everything.
I will say I saw a Twitter thread a while back. Couldn't even tell you who it was. But basically, if you've got a guy who's getting the bulk of the carries in college and he's handling it fine, it's a very good sign for their career in the pros. Like,
I agree.
There are people who would be cautious of that because of the wear and tear or whatever. But like, it's really more a good sign to show that they can handle the heavy workload.
Yeah, anyone who says wear and tear, I'm gonna raise them JT. So,
right.
He's like a battle rocket, man.
Yeah.
I thought, again, I could be dead wrong, but it looked like Michigan State had a good offensive line, and there were lanes, and when there was a lane and like it was play side,
gone,
and like especially at full speed, he was really good at making dudes miss and like not slowing down, which is something that like I think is insanely valuable. And so he was literally like a battle rocket, like, and and I was very impressed with that. I do have some negatives. I thought that he can get taken down easily. I did see arm tackles taking him down or like really like stopping him in his tracks. So
Yeah.
I do think that's a possibility. But when you're really good at make you miss, that's a little problem. And then again, it goes back to we kind of mentioned it with the catching in route running, like what was asked of him and what can he do? We don't really know, but he wasn't asked to do anything passing wise.
Not
He would
at
just
all.
just drift out to the outside, and sometimes it went, sometimes it didn't. Yeah. Pass pro, I didn't think he was very good at pass pro either.
No.
He does have decent hands though. I saw he made a one-handed catch that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He did look like a natural.
And
but like I said, he wasn't.
And this is what I was going back to with Fournette earlier. It was the same thing said about Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like a skill that like
JT too was. I know we shouldn't compare everyone to JT, but I'm just saying like narratives aren't always true. Like
exactly, and it's not like you're not trying to ask them to be a receiver. You're just trying to see if they can catch a ball while running. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, catch it in stride and keep moving, things like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like I said, landing spot's gonna be big for me on him too. I think it's very close between, and it probably comes down to personal preference between the two of these guys. I do have Brees slightly higher because, like I said, I think he's a safer floor. It's fair. But I really like Kenneth Walker. I think this running back class got too much hate, and I think there's three guys that are good, and we'll get to Spiller eventually. We just wanted to wait on him until we get some measurements because he didn't run the combine because he was hurt. So he's got his pro day, I think, later this month, like a week away or something like that. So we will get to him. I think all three of them are neck and neck for me.
I think my biggest thing on Walker is one, he hit me with eye test while watching live football during the season. Mm-hmm. 2, his combine numbers backed that up.
Yep.
3,
he's a very good athlete.
His tape backed up both of those up.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, he's legit.
Yeah. If a running back goes first round, I think it might be him. I don't think a running back does, but if it does, it could be him because of that home run threat ability. And that is agreed. It's like the fast wide receivers. Like, why do you think they keep going first half of the first round? Because that changes how you have to play defense and how you have to call defense against them. Because if not, you give up a dagger, that changes the game.
Right. Totally.
So, yeah, I really like both of them. I do have a comp.
ETN. Really?
Blazing speed. I think ETN's better with contact balance. I think ETN's better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they win similarly. And I think that ETN was just asked to do a little bit more, like passing-wise and things like that. But I do think, they're both kind of, a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter on the lighter side, like 210, 215. But the home run ability and then just the full speed movements is what, that's what made me think ETN.
You ready for mine?
Yeah.
Arian Foster.
Interesting. Huh. I don't think I would have gone there.
I really think if Walker finds himself into a zone blocking scheme that like really emphasizes that like one cut, he's gonna be lethal, dude, because that's the scheme that you take one cut and you're into open space and you just got to beat a linebacker. What did you just find out on the internet that just happened?
It's not even relevant to anyone else, but someone just traded away Kyle Pitts in one of my leagues for Trubisky, Michael Carter, and pick 208.
No.
I would have blown that out of the fucking water. This dude he just sold off Christian McCaffrey. I figured he's rebuilding. I didn't even talk to Pitts. I'm so mad right now. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, you should be.
This isn't about us. All right. This isn't about the show. So
you should be this mad.
I need a minute. Continue. Sorry. I didn't mean it to be distracting. Oh my God.
Dude, I think that Walker would fit great in like a zone blocking scheme.
Outside zone. I thought outside zone watching him. Whereas, and I think, go ahead.
I just think that like what we saw to Arian Foster, to be honest, was before the times.
Yeah, I can see that. Whereas I think, I'm pretty sure Iowa State runs mostly a zone scheme, and it looked like they did better when they did like power runs with Brees Hall. So that's it, different kind of backs. So yeah, I think that's good. We'll see how that goes. I think landing spot's big, but yeah, both these dudes, if you get either one, I think you're gonna be happy.
I'm taking Walker.
Good.
I love him. He's my guy.
I love Lamp.
I think it was probably the Michigan game that I was watching live, and I was just like, "Yep, that's my guy."
Yeah, that dude was insane. He's also good in the at the end zone. I did see him get stopped more than Brees, but I do think that he's. I don't know if he'll get goal line carries, but like I think he can do it if he does.
Agreed.
You ready to move on to cooking and booking?
Yeah, I say we're at 45 minutes. We need to get to cooking.
Guys who run fast. They're cooking.
I put these guys at cooking because every damn year, guys who run fast get drafted higher than they actually should because they showed up to the combine in their spandex and they ran fast. And that's it.
Yeah. Moving on. Chef Russ.
Chef Russ is cooking because he just got upgraded.
A lot better. I think he's going to be a lot happier.
Not only, you lose DK and Lockett, whatever. Those are great targets. But now he's got all these new pass catchers, plus like a legit ass running game.
Yeah, I think Davonte is the biggest winner of that trade.
Plus better defense. Chef Russ is going to be cooking because of this trade. That's for sure.
I think so for sure. Next one, we got your boy, Christian Kirk.
Woo, let's go. The only reason I put him on here is because his checkbook is fucking cooking.
Visual meme, the guy with all the money on his head doing the gift.
Exactly. That's Christian Kirk right now.
Yeah, good for him, man. Mid-round pick. He's got the bag.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Hardball.
What?
It's back. Hardball. It's back.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Baseball. I'm excited.
I'm excited. To watch over the summer. They finally, figured their shit out. Props to the players for holding their ground. I think that banning the shift is stupid, but whatever. I'm just happy to watch baseball, man.
Yeah, I'll take whatever had to be done to get that.
Dude, I feel like it would be like the NFL being like, cover 2? Not anymore.
I don't know. I'm going to wait and see. I know that's not really takey, but I'm going to wait and see.
No, you're right. And I don't know. You're asking, I know that hitting a baseball off of a professional pitcher is probably one of the hardest things to do in sports. And I fully acknowledge that. But at the same time, you should be able to learn. If you can learn to, jack bombs off of these guys, you should be able to learn to slap a grounder to the opposite side. I don't know.
I agree. I've been someone that said I'd be okay with it just because I want stuff to happen in baseball. I think a shortstop taking a grounder up the middle and turning it into an out is cool. So I don't know. I just don't like all the strikeout walks. Obviously, home runs are dope, but I just like stuff to happen.
No, I get that. But yeah, for me, it's like some middle ground between, you can't police, let the dudes field. I don't know. How can you honestly police where dudes stand out there? I'm somewhere between that and I don't know, maybe just learn to fucking hit the ball to right field for once in your life. You know what I mean?
I get you, man.
I'm somewhere in the middle, and I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, they just gotta do whatever they can do to make it a little bit more entertaining. But booking Baker Mayfield.
He
kind of
is so
touched on it
booking.
already. Yeah,
we did touch on it a little.
Going from 101, which like everyone I think was like, yeah, he's the 101 of that class. And then
yeah,
I don't know, we liked Lamar, but
it's just hilarious that I think my favorite part is that he wants a trade and the Browns are like, nah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
we're good.
Super awkward situation until that gets settled.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kyle Trask not gonna be starting QB of the Bucs.
Yeah, he's booking because Tom Brady's like, hey, I'm gonna retire, and Kyle, Tim Brody. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course. I had him in my redraft league a couple years ago, late round steal.
Yeah. So Tim Brody is like, hey, I think I'm done playing this football game.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna chill at home with my supermodel wife and kids. And Kyle Trask is like, oh shit, like I'm gonna be a quarterback in the league.
It's my time.
Let's go, baby. And he's like doing all, shit, I'm gonna do everything I can to get ready, like this is my time to shine. And then Tim Brody's like, you know what? I spent a month with my family. I think I'd rather get sandwiched by 300-pound men. I'm back.
Yeah. Dad life is hard.
So, Tim Brody's back, and Kyle Trask, you're fucking out.
Poor dude. He was so excited. Not. And then NFL suspension rules.
So stupid. Hey, you're gonna gamble on football, and you're gonna bet on your own team to win
when you're not even playing.
When you're not playing. Hey, you like to smoke weed and we caught you? You're gonna be out for a long time. Oh, you know what? You just beat your baby mama into a concussion? No big deal.
Couple games.
You can come back. So my biggest gripe about the league is that it's been multiple fucking times now where domestic violence is shrugged off and a slap on the wrist. But don't you dare fucking smoke weed.
Seriously. In the pain business.
Or gamble on your team to win. Win!
I agree. There's no rhyme or reason, like Zeke. I thought they totally botched the Zeke thing, where it's like they suspended him without knowing the whole case, and then pretty much everything got dropped, I think. And then, he was still suspended. Ray Rice got 2 games.
Adrian Peterson.
Right. Like Watson's going to apparently get at least 6 games suspension. I think apparently.
Damn.
Because I don't know. I get it. I just feel like they should just wait and see what happens with all these civil cases and find out what happens, even if that means he gets suspended in 2023. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So, like,
to me, it's just the dichotomy of like the difference of smoking weed and gambling.
That's the dumbest one.
Versus beating a woman.
A human. Right.
Like, it's not even close.
Yeah. especially the weed one. And It doesn't even matter what their state's laws are and shit like that. Like, it's just dumb.
You sat at home and smoked a blunt versus you punched your girlfriend in the face.
Right. Threw her on a bed of guns.
It's baffling to me.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
What
NFL doesn't know what the hell to do. Sean Kingston time?
Mm-hmm.
What Guan? Guan. We have good news because we're all Guans this week.
Everybody.
Because it's one of the best weekends of the year. It's opening weekend for March Madness. You dick around at work You barely work. All you're doing is following the games. If you're lucky enough to stream. It's just a blast. Bets out the wazoo if your state allows it. Sorry if they don't. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time betting so far, but I'm having a blast doing it.
Of course.
Freaking Iowa blew my parlay, or I'd be up.
I was kind of thinking about okay, so one of my memories growing up of the tournament is I would print my bracket and then I would print an empty one so I could fill in, with the real
right
results versus, and I'd go in with a highlighter and highlight mine. And that was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. And then I would and I was literally thinking today, man, I can't even imagine a world where I am at school and I just have no fucking clue what the hell's going on. And I don't even know a single score until I get home. And I have to sit there and wait for turn my TV on and whatever, maybe one game I was getting, and I have to watch the little thing in the corner to tell me all the scores until I could cross off or highlight my teams.
I know, man. Kids these days have no clue.
But then, the boomers will tell us, I had to wait for the paper the next day.
Sucks to suck. Okay, boomer.
Yeah, okay, boomer.
But yeah, I'm definitely it's one of my favorite times of the year. I'm not a big college basketball guy, but I mean, if you don't watch March Madness, I don't know what's up with you.
Right, I got into a little bit more in the past month-ish.
That's what I do. Yeah,
month-ish because of betting.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know, but it's fun.
Yeah. It's a blast. Crazy shit happens. I love it. Can't wait.
And that's all we need. If there's sports to watch, I'm going to bet.
You know it, brother. That's all I got.
That's all there is of that.